Donkey Jaw Projects.
What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? This is Marshall Lee of DonkeyJawProjects.com, and today is day number 94 of 100 days of making comics. We're getting there. We're almost to the end. Let's see, 6 days from now. So that means next Friday, I think, will be the last day. I'm gonna be doing I'm gonna have the day off that day. I have to do an appointment, so I'll be getting some work done that day, most likely, a decent amount. And yeah, I don't know, that's cool. It's always hard to do a video on that day, though, but I'll do it. Maybe I'll pre-record something. I don't know, we'll see. It's a good idea, actually, pre-record something. And then, like, just record a little tidbit just to say, oh, I did this, blah, 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 you know. I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, today is Saturday, and I'm heading to Plastic City Comic-Con in Fitchburg, Mass. It's a little ways away. This morning, I did my 30 minutes. I did probably more than that. It's kind of hard to gauge because, like, I'm trying to figure stuff out and whatnot. But basically, I was getting the Daisy Ted title panel. That's what I'm calling it, the title panel. It's like what would be the album cover or the comic book cover or whatever, like the thing that people see. For the thing they see first. I was getting that prepped for quote-unquote coloring, which I guess I don't really need to. I mean, maybe I'll do a color version too. I don't know. I think maybe I will. I'll do a color version, and then on the actual, like, when you click on it, it'll be like the color version, maybe. I don't know. That's actually deceptive, because then you're going to think, well, why isn't it black and white in the inside? But a lot of comics are like that too, so I don't know. Maybe it'd be cool to have like a color version and then a black and white version when you open it up to the next page. But, you know, what really, I mean, a lot of that time took up was trying to, well, I don't know. It was a solid 30 to 45 minutes. But I used that Flaton website or app or whatever you call it. And, you know, I did some things to the pencils to try to make it so it would work better, and it did. But I think, you know, it's going to be a learning curve, and hopefully I'll get it to the point where I'm good at picking out the parts that I need to fix before I send it to Flaton or whatever. But it wasn't, you know, everything that I did need to go back and fix wasn't that big of a deal. But I probably spent more time trying to, like, figure out the file format that I need to use for Flaton or whatever. It has to be a PNG, and it has to be under, you know, a certain file size. So I'm wondering how it's going to work for comic book pages, but this is just one panel, you know, but it was at 300 DPI, so I had to, like, shrink it down to, like, 250. I don't know, like, how I can make the file size smaller without changing the resolution. That way I won't have to resize it and stuff. I mean, luckily it did resize well, you know, like I was able to get it so it can still work as the flats. But I'd like to I'd like to not have to resize it. I'd like to be able to lower down the file size without changing the resolution. If any of you guys know how to do that, please let me know. But anyways, I lowered it down to 250, and then, you know, I did the size thing, and it was pretty good. I'm happy with it. I think that Flaton is definitely going to become part of my workflow for flatting and coloring comics. I think it's really got the potential to take the flatter out of the equation. all you gotta do is do Flaton and then do some, I mean, it takes some page prep and it takes some, correction after the fact, but I think you can get it to the point where you minimize the amount of that you have to do. So I'm gonna do that. Who knows? Maybe I could. It'd be like a crazy, like, it's probably would be messed up, but like see if you could get jobs flatting and then use Flaton and then just kind of do the page prep and the fixing after. I mean, I don't know. Might be kind of a cool way to try to make some extra cash. It's not my fault that these other people don't know about Flaton. I don't know. Is that shiesty? It sounds pretty shiesty, huh? Anyways, I don't know that I'm going to do that. It's definitely helpful for my process. Anyways, so I did that. That's what I did for today. Will I do more? Probably not, because it's a busy day. Unless I do some writing on my way back or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. Because I can, like, dictate it to my phone or whatever. So yeah, I'm going to this convention. I'm excited. Oh, the tablet. Man, I was having some issues today. Like, I spent, a few hours. Let's see. I got up at about 5. Probably didn't really get up though until about. I probably didn't really get to the thing till about, like, let's say 6, just to be safe. I don't even. It might have been even later than that. And then I left at around 8, or actually around 9, but I had to get ready, so it's like 8:30. So probably spent about a solid 2 hours just trying to figure things out with the display and like how to get the tablet to work, get it configured. And I even went to the Gaumon site and talked to one of the people, and with a live chat. And one thing that was weird was they were like, well, I'm not at my computer right now. I talk to you more about some of this stuff on the on Monday? And I'm like, I mean, I was kind of felt like frustrated. I was like, I want to get it done now. Like, I'm trying to figure this out now. I'm not trying to waste time, but I get it. They probably don't have like a huge staff that can do, they're not set up in a way where they can respond to people like have people hired to sit there all day and night for 24/7, not every company has that ability, so I get it. But I was a little frustrated because of my own personal stuff, but anyways, he did help me, she, I think it was a she, helped me the best that I could, or the best that she could, and she was using her cell phone, to like talk back and forth to me. So she did actually help me figure out how to do the mirror thing, because I was doing extended mode and I didn't know how to do mirror mode. So she showed me how to do that, which makes things better. One thing that was weird is like the resolution on my laptop compared to the resolution on the tablet is different. So when I go into extended mode, it's 1080 and all that stuff. And she mentioned 4K too. I don't know if it's 4K, but that might be true. So like when I blew certain things up, it looked pixelated that I didn't expect it to. It was like on Photoshop, it was like 500 by 500, and it was like 300 DPI. So when I blew it up and drew on it on the 1080p screen, the lines looked pixelated. So that was like not something I was expecting, but I found out that it was just the canvas size that was really making it like that, and I don't know. It ended up working out. I did like really rough sketching and writing words and stuff to kind of see, you know, how it worked, and I can see that, like, yeah, it's definitely going to be fun to draw on this thing. And one thing is, I couldn't get it on Clip Studio Paint. I couldn't get it to draw. Like, it wouldn't draw in extended mode. Like, I was like, what the heck? When I finally found out about mirror mode and like switched to that, I was able to draw in Clip Studio. I don't know why. That I still don't know why. And it's annoying when like you try to save something and the window pops up on the laptop screen and not on the tablet screen when you're in extended mode. So it's like every time you do a new window, you gotta like drag it into the extended mode area. So I don't know if there's a setting to make it work that way, because I think I would like to work in extended mode, because it's cool. Like, I could have one screen have the reference of what I'm trying to draw or whatever reference I need, or a video on YouTube or something, whatever, and then the other screen I can just be, that'll be my workspace, you know, where I do my art. So I'd really love to have that be a thing. So I don't know, maybe I can learn some things about being in extended mode better or whatever. It sucks because you can't look up specific. It's hard to, like, it's easy to look some of this stuff up, but like looking up specifics, like this specific tablet with my specific computer, you know, things might be different on different kinds of computers and whatnot. So, but anyways, so I was having that issue, and then another issue is in with certain brushes in Clip Studio Paint. I get the, and hopefully you guys get what I'm saying, like, I get the corn dog effect. So it's like the pressure sensitivity seems to work to a certain degree, but then if you press too hard, it like bubbles, the line bubbles for a little bit, and then it like, once you let the sensitivity off, it goes back to a small line again. So it looks like a corn dog. So, I don't know. Do you guys know how to fix that? Like, within the brush settings, I guess. I you know, I could only fiddle around with so many things. Like, I only had so much time. So, I guess if I mess around with the settings, I'd be able to figure it out. But maybe there's, like, a quick thing you can tell me. But I want to say, too, shout out to everybody who's giving me a little, like, tips and stuff and helping me. Shout out to Holly. She really made me feel a lot better about like the fact that the adapter will probably work, because she has a Mac too, and she uses an adapter with a bunch of different tablets, and she said it's gonna work fine, don't worry about it. So that was really cool. And then, like, you know, Mike Emirates helped me understand a little bit about the extended mode and stuff, which was really cool. So shout out to everybody who, there's other people too. Thanks for all the tips and encouragement and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm having fun. I'm getting to, I mean, I was kind of stressing a lot, you know. It wasn't, I guess I could say in some ways it wasn't fun. I was like stressed because I wanted to have some productivity happen today, but I also wanted to figure these things out as well. And, you know, on a normal Saturday morning that I didn't have much to do, I would just be like, oh, whatever, I'm playing around with this, you know, I'm sure I'll get something done at some point, but, you know, I'm probably going to sit here all day and just play around with it and have fun. So today I had a time crunch. Tomorrow hopefully I'll be able to sit down with it more and do my thing. One thing that's weird is like how it tilts up. Like, I like that it tilts up. Trying to draw on it like flat, because even the flat isn't 100% flat unless I take it off of, you know, unscrew it from the bracket or whatever. That's kind of not very comfortable. That's weird. Unless maybe I could lay it in my lap somehow and it would be a little better. That would be cool to work with it in my lap, but the thing is it's got all these cords hanging out. I'm always afraid I'm gonna, like, I keep hitting the cords a little bit on the side. And I'm afraid I'm gonna mess up the port or something by hitting the cords by accident. So that's a thing. It's not a huge bad thing or anything, but it's something I don't love. But, you know, so now I'm drawing more tilted up, and that's how they say you're supposed to draw a lot of times. Like, art teachers will tell you that. This is going to be a long episode, I can already tell. So, I don't know, like, I like that. I dig it's more comfortable, but I need something for my elbow because the desk is too hard for my elbow to sit there. So I always already do have something. Like, I just have a little towel folded up. But maybe I need, like, a pillow or something. I don't know. I don't think that, you know, I gotta fiddle around with things. I don't think I'm sitting in a good position that I like yet. I don't know. And then it's weird, like, certain things I can only do on the computer, and I have to stretch above the thing, above the display, the tablet display to my computer, which is a little further up, and that's kind of uncomfortable. The hotkeys work automatically. There's a lot of things that are, you know, the express keys seem to work pretty automatically the way I would like them in Photoshop, but they're different in Clip Paint Studio. So I haven't even figured out how to change the express keys yet. It wasn't intuitive and easy, so I'm gonna have to, like, look on a tutorial or something. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things I gotta kind of work on to figure out, but I don't want to be playing with it, like, constantly. And I mean, I guess throughout time I'll just learn things here and there and get better at it, you know. So there is, you know, that the thickness of the screen is a little bit weird, like, drawing on that. Like, it feels right, but when I'm wondering when I'm really starting to finally try to draw and maybe make, like, a finished piece with it. You know, I don't know. There's, like, a little bit of maybe a kind of delay sometimes with lines. Some brushes, like, you put it down and it comes out as a big blob, and then it corrects to, like, this tapered effect, which, I mean, I think that's just the brush settings for each different brush is different, you know. So I don't know. I don't like that, though. I don't like how it comes out as a blob and then it changes to, I want to see what I'm doing, you know, and see how the pressure sensitivity is working as it goes, you know. So I don't know. We'll see. I know that you can mess with the pressure sensitivity, hardness, and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get into that soon. So yeah, I don't know. That's all the things I can think of. But it was fun. It was interesting. It was more of a challenge. I guess I knew it was going to be a challenge, but I always hope it's not going to be. But it's a lot less of a challenge than working with a non-display drawing tablet, that's for sure. So I'm digging it. I love the potential of it. I love the look of it. I like how clean things are, and, you know, I like the fact that it may minimalize art tools and papers all over the place and all that kind of stuff. You know, it depends on how intensely I get into it and how much work I end up doing on that as opposed to traditional. I mean, traditional's a pain in the butt, you know. I love it. I love the feel of it. But, like, doing a traditional art and then bringing it to get it scanned and then transferring files and doing this and that and, you know, buying pens and paper, I don't know, storing all this stuff. I mean, there's definitely something to be said for going digital and not having to deal with that as much. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so I guess that's about it for now. I'm going to go to the convention. I don't know how much I'm going to film there. I don't want to be like... I don't really want to be filming, like, my interaction with him. Like, that would be weird. But maybe I'll be able to take a picture. Maybe I'll take some video of walking around. We'll see. But what I will do is let you know how it went after the fact. So, yeah, I think that's about all I have to say for now. And it's already at 20 minutes. So, you know, I'll hit you up when I get back from the thing. And, yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you in a minute. Alright. What's up, y'all? The convention's over. I spent way longer there than I expected to. Alright, I'm going to tell you a little thing, a little story. It's a little bit embarrassing. Not of what happened, but what always happens. I don't know if any of you experience this, but I have this specific phenomena that happens to me when I go to a comic book shop, at a convention. It always surprises me. I always forget too. Or if I go to like a bookstore, I guess anywhere where I'm browsing and looking at stuff that I have fun browsing and looking at, immediately, well, I shouldn't say immediately, but it won't be long before when I start that I will have to go to the bathroom so bad. Like number one, number two, all of it, you know. And it's like a natural like laxative for me. Like, I don't know what the deal is. I think my theory is that I just relax. Like, when I'm in that position, I just get relaxed. It's like, this is where I like to be. I like to look at cool art and stuff, you know, and I don't know. It's like my happy place, and that's the place where I want to like go to the bathroom, I guess. I don't know. It's so weird. Do you guys ever experience that? It's a weird question, I know, but anyways. So the problem with that though is, and I still haven't gone to the bathroom, by the way. At this point, like, my stomach hurts a little bit. I need to stop somewhere and go. But it doesn't like feel like I have to go like right now, so it's kind of cool, whatever. But I was like a little freaked out because I did try to go to the bathroom there. But the problem is I'm standing there. I have like my comics pages. Like, I brought these, my comic pages, and they're in a plastic thing at least, you know. But you know, it wasn't a nice bathroom. Basically, what this convention was on a hockey rink floor, like an arena with a hockey rink. It was really cold, so that's another thing. So, I mean, you can imagine though, I mean, the bathroom's kind of like a locker room. Like, it's not the nicest place. I don't even know if I really wanted to go to the bathroom there. It's cold there. I'm sure the seat would have been cold. I went in, I contemplated it for like 30 seconds, and then I left. I was like, I can't go to the bathroom here. And then I'm like praying, like God, please help me to hold this while I'm hanging out and doing this thing, because I don't know how I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I was trying to see if I could like maybe, I was gonna maybe have like one of the conventioners hold my stuff so I could go, but I don't know anybody there. I don't trust anybody there necessarily, you know. So I don't know. But now that I'm thinking about it, there is a guy who I do know who was conventioning there. I should have thought to like go around all the tables and see if there's anybody I know, because obviously I've been to a lot of conventions in the area. I've begun relationships with a lot of people sort of in this semi area. It's a good chance that there's somebody I know who's conventioning, and I could have left my stuff with that person. Oh well. I'll have to remember that next time if I'm in the area again. And I have that issue. Anyways, so luckily I didn't, like, for some reason it did stop up and I was able to be fine and, you know, whatever. So anyways, I had a great time. I spent way longer than I expected to spend there. I don't know how long I was at Peter's booth, but I was talking to him for a good, I feel like it must have been at least 2 hours. Maybe it wasn't, maybe it was less, but it felt like a long time because, you know, I felt like I was maybe imposing on him, but he didn't give me the sense that I was imposing on him at all. He was open to talk. He was a really nice guy. But I mean, what you see if you watch his YouTube videos where he does interviews, how nice he is and what he talks about there, that's exactly how he was, you know. It was like I was having my own personal podcast with him. You know, he talked a lot, I talked a lot. I think he talked more because I wanted to be, you know, I didn't want to take over the conversation or anything. And then, like, I asked him, like, every possible question I could think of. There was some awkward stuff where I was, like, looking at the stuff he had, and it was a little bit silent because I was trying to think of the other questions that I wanted to, since he was, like, cool with, like, chatting, I wanted to make sure I asked questions that, you know, I didn't forget to ask questions that were important to me. I don't even know if I got to all of them. There's at least one I was thinking of that I would have liked to have asked about the printing process and stuff. But for the most part, I was able to ask all the questions and get answers. And then another guy, and I tried to give him time, like if somebody came by, like I wanted to make sure he had time with those people so he could make a sale and stuff, and I didn't want to like get in the way of that, you know. Luckily, I mean, it was kind of busy in there, but it wasn't super busy at his table. Like, I didn't really have to wait very much, you know, to talk to him. So that was really cool. Another thing that was cool was I wasn't sure if I was going to show pages. I wasn't sure if I was going to bring them in. I was a little nervous, but before I left, I was like, you know what? This is the opportunity right now. Take the opportunity, do it. Be bold, don't be afraid, do it. Alright, so as I was saying, I think my phone got too hot. Hopefully it'll keep going, but anyways, so I showed him my pages, and he was like, you know, is it okay if I like let you know, like give you a little critique or whatever, like, you know, he didn't want to be a jerk, basically, you know. And I was like, yes, please tell me anything and everything. Like, I would, you know, I want to get better, so that's my point. And so he was like, cool. So he took a look at all the pages for the Hitchhiker, and then after that, he talked to some customers. And then he took a look at Lizard Brain as well. Like, he was happy to do all that, so that's really cool. He gave me a lot of good tips, a lot of good feedback, and I wrote them down. Like, on my Trello thing, I was like, crap, you know, I want to make sure I remember this. So when I had like little downtimes, I typed out, you know, what he told me. Some of what the gist of it is I have a lot of like straight on shots where, you know, same horizon line, and you see the two characters just kind of standing straight there, like in front of you. So vary the angles. Also, you know, do better with like line weights and stuff, and get looser with the inks. Don't like trace like the pencils, which, you know, that one actually, it's true. Like, I get what he's saying, like, but it's not because of that. I don't think that my lines look like that. My lines look like that it must be for another reason. I'm not sure why, but it's not because I'm trying to trace it very tightly, I don't think. I just need to get better at inking, I guess. Because the reason why I say that is because my pencils aren't even tight enough. Like, when I'm doing my inks, I'm almost drawing at that point more than I am with my pencils. So, yeah, but there's that. Another thing he told me that was really helpful was that I need to put a lot more blacks in there. It's like for the most part, a lot of my art is like contours and stuff, and there's not a lot of blacks. And it's like, and I always think of it like, well, that's what the colorist, or me doing the colors, will do. And one thing that he told me that I didn't even think of, which makes sense, is like if you put a lot of blacks in there, then that takes away, that means you don't have to do so much work on the coloring stage. So I'm like, okay, it's interesting. But like with the style I was doing with these, this is a more cartoony style, so I figured you wouldn't have as many blacks. But what he told me was to look at reference of like old 80s Marvel, I think he said Marvel books for like Labyrinth and like the Muppets and stuff like that, like stuff that is a little more cartoony. But you'll see, he said, I'll see that like there are blacks in there. There's more blacks in there than you would expect. And, so I'm definitely going to do that. And he said even like bone and stuff like that. So, which I know that they have blacks and bone, a lot of that stuff in bone too. So, he wants to see a lot more of that on the pages. So, angles, putting in more blacks. Also, he said my human characters, or humanoid characters, depending, kind of the positions come out kind of stiff. So work on that. Some of the poses are a little awkward and things like that. So work on that. So, and I told him, I'm like, I do a lot of gesture studies sometimes, but I don't know. I think like when I'm doing comic pages, sometimes it's either a little rushed or there's so much to think about when you're doing a comic page that maybe I don't try to do better gestures and stuff, but it's noted, like, I have to do better with that, so I'm going to work on that. So, let's see. He said I was good at creature design, because he saw in Lizard Brain, he saw my little monsters and stuff. He said, you're really good at that. Like, it seems like you have a lot more energy when you draw the monsters than you do the actual human form. So that was interesting to me. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I kind of feel like my character design or creature design, I think it's okay. Sometimes I think it could be better, a lot better. But that's interesting that he noted that as a good thing. He also said I'm good at backgrounds, which I was totally blown away with. I'm like, wait, what? Like, I thought I suck at backgrounds and I'm lazy at backgrounds, which I am to a certain degree. But I did put a lot of extra work on some of the backgrounds, and the ones he pointed out were the ones I put extra work in on. So that was good to hear. Like, so that means, obviously I think I'll need to still grow in backgrounds, but like, so I need to focus on that too, though. Like, if I'm good at backgrounds, then get even better, I don't know. To me, that's not a signal to say, okay, be lazy with backgrounds. That's a signal to say, okay, my faking it is working, so let's really try to get backgrounds done better. So, and also this idea of like, people say to work on your strengths, not on your weaknesses. In comics and art, it's a little bit different because you have to draw everything, so you kind of do have to focus on your weaknesses too. But there is something to, focusing on your strengths so that those really pop and shine even more than, they would if you didn't. So really, no matter if he says it's good or bad, I want to like double down on all of it, Another thing he said I was really good at was storytelling. Like, in that one, I can kind of see and agree to a certain degree. Like, I think I can always get better at storytelling. But that's something people have said to me before. That's something I feel does resonate with people. I feel like I want to get better at the clarity of storytelling still, but because there have been times where I have impact moments that I want people to get, and then I'll hear people say, oh, that's what that was, and then that's a pretty good sign that you're not clearly telling the story the way, if you're not getting across what you intend. So I still need to definitely work on that. But he was saying, like, in general, like, you have good storytelling. So I was like, wow, okay. And he said that's usually what the problem is with people. You know, they have real big issues with storytelling, and that, you know, that's like the number one thing you need to be good at, you know. So he said that's actually a big plus. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say that actual phrase, but that's what I kind of got from the conversation. So, but I need to, so now I'm thinking, you know, this is just really good information, you know, to know what I'm okay at. And now I'm thinking, you know, I want to show these same pages to other people too, because I have a feeling that each person who looks at these kind of things will pick out different things, you know. Like, I notice when I watch Ethan Van Sciver's critiques, he always picks on, I mean, he talks about a lot of different things, but he always picks up on perspective. So, you know, I imagine he would probably say some things about my perspective if I were to show him my stuff. So, you know, I'm just saying, like, I think other, you know, I would love to show it to different people and see what else is wrong with it. So yeah, I feel like with this information, I don't know, like, I feel like excited and empowered because I feel like I have an assignment, I have stuff I know I need to work on, and I don't know, I have a direction of the type of things that will help me to make comics that are good enough to be published. And having that information makes my journey from here to there quicker than it was a few hours ago when I didn't have that information. You know what I mean? Another thing I asked him was, you know, this the hitchhiker story. I was like, so this is actually something I wanted to rework or, you know, continue the story along. And this was going to be one of the things that I pitched to you, you know, eventually. Do you think this is something that you might be interested in when the time comes? Like, is this the type of story or the type of look that you might publish? And he pretty much was like, yeah, this is like, you know, I could see it as a fit, you know, basically. Not that he's not saying, like, when I do pitch it, he's going to say yes. I get the sense that he has so many ridiculous amounts of submissions that even when they're good, he just can't take them all, you know. I know that he's booked all the way through 2019. That being said, you know, I almost get the feeling like he wasn't trying to discourage me from it, but at all. Like, I didn't get that feeling. But I just feel like maybe he's overwhelmed with how many submissions he gets. So, you know, like, he's certainly not, like, trying to covet all the artists. He's got plenty coming his way, you know, or creators. I don't really know if that makes any sense, but I made it pretty clear that I'm, like, more interested in publishing with him than anybody else. I mean, I didn't say it like that, but I made it clear that I'm excited about what he's doing, and that I had a goal to be published that image, and now I actually would rather be published with his company, you know, which is very true. I'm not, like, I've already said that to some people. Like, I'm not, like, just saying that because I'm excited and I'm at a show talking to this specific guy. I'm excited about alternative comics. Like, to me, that's the future of comics. I don't know if that will actually happen because the industry, you know, the big two in the industry doesn't, you know, is kicking and screaming, trying to not go in ways that seem smart for indie people. But whatever. So, that all being said, I'm freaking excited. More excited than ever. I also, see if I can grab it without crashing. I mean, I went there and I got a ton of stuff. He's selling these like, they're like posters, like, and this is kind of the idea I had. This is what I was going to do. Like, for all my little short stories, I was going to make a comic cover and then sell that as a print. That's what he's doing. Like, he's selling the prints, you know, at 11 by 17 size to as or the covers as prints, you know. So I bought a couple of them. I mean, $3 each or $5 for two. And I actually have all this wall space that I was like talking to Lindsay, to my wife about, like filling with 11 by 17 size framed pieces of art or whatever. So I have, like, I wasn't sure what I was going to put in there. I mean, I knew I'd put some comic pages. I already got, you know, the Life in Space anthology cover up. Well, it's not up yet, but it's going to be up. And I have Mike Emmeritz's poster, Space Cat poster up. So, you know, now I have a couple alternate covers that I'm going to put up, and that'll fit in perfectly. So, anyways, but he's doing the same idea. Like, I feel like I'm on the same, like, line of thinking as he is, and I feel like I always have been. But, you know, I pull in different directions because you see the industry going different ways, so you're like, well, maybe it's better to do graphic novels. I mean, even he did. That's how his main business was, graphic novels, for a long time. And now he's focusing on single books. And he's open to doing a bunch of different things, but he's kind of focusing on, you know, 4 to 5 to 6, 7 page or issue miniseries, whatever, things like that. But he's also, there's one title that's coming out in a week or a couple weeks. It's a double size. It's only $2. It's a double size issue, and it's a one and done issue. So he's experimenting with that. He also wants to do another kind of thing like that. I mean, I'm not going to give away his secrets, like, but that one's already like out, so I can talk about that one. He's experimenting with the idea of like some ongoing series, but it's hard to really do that at his level of indie publishing. So, you know, he's only got one title right now that's an ongoing series, but I think there's another one that he's starting soon too. But even in that, those are going to be blocked out as miniseries. Like, so if you buy them at a comic shop, they'll be like 1 through 5, and then they start over with another number 1. But if you buy them on a newsstand, the way he's going to number it is ongoing. So it'll, you know, go 1 to 50 if that book goes that long or whatever, you know. So it's interesting. It's an interesting model. We talked a lot about all the different industry stuff that's going on and everything, you know, the titles. So we talked about a little bit of everything. So, you know, that's how it went. You know, it went really good. And then, like I said, I met some other people, but I really was focusing on just hanging out with him. But I was about to leave, and he's like, enjoy the rest of the con. And I'm like, you know what? And I turned and went the other direction. I was like, thank you. And I figured, let me at least go down these aisles real quick. And I'm glad I did, because I found this one guy. Like, there was a lot of talented people. I didn't want to really spend a lot of time because I had to get going. But there was one guy I stopped at. I couldn't help it. His art and his comics were amazing. It reminds me of all the stuff that is influencing me right now, like old comic strip stuff like Pogo and Winsor McKay, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, the cartoon stuff, the rubber hose stuff, whatever, all that stuff. And this cover is actually Scotty Young, because he had like some alternative covers, but this book is so cool. Like, and the inside, this guy's art, and the guy was really nice. His art is like amazing. I can't really show it because I'm driving, but I mean, this thing is so cool, and I'm gonna see if I can find a link. I know you can buy this stuff on Amazon. 4-Lane the Goblin, I don't know, I think that's what you say, in the Vaultlands, and he's got 6 issues out. It's this weird long format thing, which I think is awesome. Like this lengthy, I don't know, it's just really cool. He's got 6 issues out. They're $5 a piece. They're more than like an issue's worth of comic, you know. They're like a little, like a really mini trade type of amount of pages, I think. Really amazing work. Each one is like this fantasy adventure thing. Each one, he goes to a different land with like different characteristics. So one's called like the Winglands, the other one's called like the Saltlands, and they all like take on the characteristic of whatever it is. And I don't know, I'm just super interested. Each book is different, and they're all kind of self-contained stories. But I guess the 6th book does leave a little bit of a cliffhanger to the 7th, and he's going to finish it off at the 7th. He's working on, or has finished the 7th. Now he's come out with like one a year. And I can't wait to read this book. I'm so glad that I went down these aisles and didn't miss this guy's stuff. Really cool dude. I definitely hope to connect with him further. And yeah, so there's that. Anyways, this video is going on pretty long, I think, and I want to focus on driving. It's really nice scenery and stuff too, so that would be cool to just focus and chill out and whatnot until I get to my mom's. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming along this little journey with me, and hopefully you guys dug this episode and got something from it. Day 94 of 100 Days of Making Comics. I told them about that. I told him about Scott Circlin, who just did a video about Alterna Comics. And he was like, oh yeah, I saw that. Once I said the name Scott Circlin, he's like, yeah. And I told him about, you know, Take Me to Your Later Tuesdays, all kinds of stuff. I'm talking about Peter Smetty of Alterna Comics. So yeah, I don't know, cool stuff. Anyways, thanks again. You guys rock for coming along with me, and I'm excited. Be excited. I hope you guys are getting your projects done this weekend and working hard and also having some fun. That's about it, guys. Really appreciate you. I'll talk to you on the next episode. Peace out.